Hey YouTube, this is Mopar Madman. Thought I'd give you guys a quick look at the Hornady's new G2-1500 electronic scale. Just picked this up. Thought I would show you guys a couple reasons why, see what you thought on your own, make your own decision if you were thinking about picking one up, doing a scale upgrade, or if you've got the Gen 1 or whatever your thoughts on it were. As you can see, I kind of have three scales out. I was going to mention out here because I happen to have the AWS 100 scale before I really even started reloading, and I'm pretty sure that that scale is pretty close to identical to the Hornady scale as you can possibly get without having Hornady's name on it. Yeah, you can judge that for yourself. Maybe it's got different internals, I don't know. I will tell you, whereas Hornady's scale does not have a specification for accuracy, the AWS 100 does. And if you look at it, it'll tell you, well, I guess, what does it say? Readability is 0.2 grains. So when you go through all the paperwork, I think when it's accuracy, it's basically 0.2 of a grain is what the readout on that is. So I'm not sure if that's what the Hornady is or not. But if it's the same as that, it seems logical that it possibly could be. So I'm not going to go through 100 weights on that scale. I just thought I'd have it out there for review. I was going to try and compare basically the Generation 1 versus the Generation 2. As you'll see, as I keep moving this thing back and forth to keep it on, that is one of my reasons why I upgraded. So basically, what's with the new scale? Why do you want to do the Gen 2? Number one, it's pretty inexpensive. I think I spent around $28 picking it up. It was on back order and it finally came in. My Generation 1, it says right in Hornady's manual that it's not trickler compatible, but Hornady certainly sends a trickler with the kit, and so every one of you guys that might have one of those is probably very familiar with lifting the pan on and off 16 times, trying to make sure that your scale picked up the change and made sure it's still accurate. I will say I think I've got some pretty good loads out of it. I've had some, when I've really paid attention to everything, I've had some real low extreme spreads in my velocities that I've checked with it. I was just hoping to maybe get a little better. A couple pet peeves that I have with that scale are theoretically solved by the new one. Well, I guess time will only tell. But one of my biggest pet peeves of this, and maybe you guys reload faster than I do, but basically after 30 seconds that thing is always turning off on me, and then I have to do, I don't know if you guys have check weights. I've got a line instead of check weights. I think they're worth their weight in gold. I wouldn't reload without a set of check weights, but to each and to their own. I want to make sure my loads are accurate where they think they are, and I'm in the same place, so I think it's always a good idea to throw on a load to whatever you plan on loading, or at least real close to the range, just to make sure your scale is accurate where you're trying to get it to be accurate. So I thought I'd go through some weights with you guys just to show you the new scale, find out what's going on. As I said, oh, my favorite thing. So I'll turn it back on. And so that's the thing. The new scale has a changeable time, so you can set it actually to take up to 180 seconds of different action before it will actually turn off. And so, as you'll probably see multiple times through the video, it seems to stay on a lot longer. And it's adjustable from 30 to 180 seconds. So far that's probably one of my favorite features. The other thing with the 1500, it does tell you in its manual here that so the precision load cell ensures 1/10 of grain accuracy up to 500 grains with a max reference measurement of 1500 grains. So theoretically this is a little bit more accurate scale than the GS, since I don't even tell you what it is. My guess it's somewhere around 0.2 grains. Though I will admit I've had very repeatable results when I pay very close attention to what I'm doing. When I throw my check weights on there, I usually can get it right back to where I thought that it was. And one thing I guess I'll point out, even though the instructions, it tells you, and the thing they recommend you zero it a lot, To improve performance, you know, fluctuation temperature, zeroing the scale and powder or pan often will produce the most accurate results. Personally, I like to, I'll set it up and well, I'll show you. So if I was going to set up a 10 grain load, you know, obviously got to start from 0. I already went through the calibration procedure on both these, so I haven't really messed with them. Everything checked out. So I'll 0 with the pan on both scales. And then I load a lot of 300 black, so I've got a lot of loads, you know, that are around 10 grains for your subs, 20 for your supers, in that realm anyway. And so you can see 10 grain, excuse me, weight, 10 grains on there. So I feel like I'm pretty close on that GS-100. I will put this over here, and lo and behold, our brand new scale seems to be off by 1/10. I've messed with this a little bit on and off. Typically I have a habit, if I don't get the exact reading of what I put on there, I'll re-zero it, let it grab a new 0, and I'll try it again until I can get the reading where I think it should be. Though I will say, the more I've been playing with this, it seems somewhere around 10 grains, it seems to always add 1/10. We'll put that back on our other scale, and we're right back at 10 again. The one thing I will say is the readout seems to be much faster on the scale, so it jumps. It does tend to kind of go over a little bit and then gets back to where it was. It goes right back to 0. You know, so there's 5, 7, 9. See, right in that area we seem to grab the 10th. Okay, so 9 finally figured itself out. So let's go to 10. And right there, 10 again, 10.1, half a grain. And then somewhere it seems to figure itself back out there again, so at 10.5. If you go back to our Gen 1 scale, we're at 10.5. So again, I haven't played with this a whole lot, but that has me a little bit nervous, but not like I can't adjust my load by 1/10 of a grain. I just, and I will say, I've noticed that this scale does seem to need the warm-up time. It does say only, you know, recommend from 1 to 3 minutes for warm-up. From what I've seen, I kind of recommend a much longer warm-up time. I don't know if I was, you know, getting ready to do a lot of reloading, if I wouldn't, you know, at least try and have it warming up for 10 minutes. I mean, I seem to always take that longest setup and get moving anyway, so it's not really a big deal for me, but I have noticed that it seems to take a while till I get where it wants to go. The points I was trying to make, I think that was the biggest thing. If there's any questions you guys specifically have, post on the link below. Otherwise, so far I don't have any. I'm hoping it's going to be more than the Gen 1. Again, you know, I will say that I'm a little nervous that it seems to commonly be off by 1/10 or so in the range that I use a lot. But I guess we can put on a few more weights if you guys want to see. You know, so, you know, 50 grains. So it's 70 grains. We seem to be basically right on the money. 70 grains. $90 grains are right on the money. 90 grains right on the money. $100 grains. 100 grains. So just to, you know, throw on some fun, there's a half. So at 100 grains, can it still see a half? Looks like it's going to work. So maybe I'll report back if you guys have anything, to come up with anything. So far for 27 bucks, it's probably worth it. Hopefully it acts a little bit better with my trickler. That's what I'm really trying to get out of it. That's kind of my goal for buying it. And but I thought I'd give you guys a look at it since I couldn't find any videos out there. that just didn't seem to, you know, show what I wanted to see. So, if you guys, So, anyway, draw your own conclusions. Take it easy, YouTube.